Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see familiar names. I'm Connie Bowman. I normally, under normal, healthful circumstances, teach Mindful Monday at the North Laurel 50 Plus Center, Monday mornings, 9 o'clock. So this practice is just a sweet reminder to bring us into the present moment. It's a great way to start our week mindfully and together. So thank you for showing up to your mat. I'm sitting on a blanket. You can put a pillow or a towel under your hips. Just helps you be a little more comfortable as we begin our centering. So when you're ready, find a comfortable seat. Sit up nice and tall. And just allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable for you, or soften your gaze so that you can really have much more of an internal focus. And then notice what's going on in your world this morning. Acknowledging sounds. Noticing the temperature of the air. Maybe smelling your breakfast or anything that's, you can appreciate aromas, odors. And even notice the sensation of the clothes you're wearing on your skin. Acknowledging your aliveness this morning. And begin to become more aware of your normal breath, your natural breath. Feeling the rise and fall of the belly and the chest with each inhalation and exhalation. And then as you're ready, invite in a deeper breath, filling up the belly, the ribs, and the lungs. And pausing at the top of the inhale to feel the fullness. And then allowing a slow, complete exhalation as you completely empty of breath. And beginning again this Monday morning, filling up, pausing, and then slowly releasing that breath. Third time's a charm. Inhale. Pause. And slowly exhale. And continue in this way. I'll be reading a Monday morning prayer of awareness. This is from Praying with the Earth from John Philip Newell. I just think it's so pretty, and it was the Monday morning prayer, so I'll share it with you as we continue to deepen the breath. Light, golden light, fresh from the source. Colors, creation's colors, calling our senses. Life in its oneness, life in its manifold oneness, all from you. You are the sun from whom the morning shines. You are the river in whom each life form flows, each face, each race. Each cell within our ever-living soul, this new day, we greet you. So as you're ready, take your chin down to your chest, stretch the back of the neck. And as you inhale, lift your nose up to the ceiling, stretching your throat. Chin comes back down to the chest, shoulders nice and relaxed, down away from the ears. Inhale that nose back up to the sky. And exhale, chin to chest. One last time, bring that nose up to the sky, keeping the eyes closed. Take the nose in a circle in one direction, just working out the kinks in the neck, Starting with small movements. And then switch directions. Good. And then come to stillness. Let any dizziness subside. Bring your chin parallel with the earth. And switch the cross of your legs. You can always extend your legs if your knees are getting a little antsy here. Take a big breath in and take your arms out wide. Sweep them up, reaching up, looking up. And draw your hands down to heart center as you exhale, chin to chest. Take 2 more. Inhale, reach up, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center. 1 more. Inhale, reaching up, getting long in the side body. Exhale, come back to that center point. And then release the right arm out to the right. And take that left arm up and lean over. And look in the opposite direction. Take a big breath in. Try to keep that left hip down on the floor. And then sweep that arm down and reach up, lean to the other side. Look the other direction. Keep that opposite hip down on the floor. Making space in those hips. Good morning, hips. And as you're ready, lower your hands. Bring your hands to the front of your legs, and we'll just take some gentle hip circles going in one direction. Doesn't matter which direction. Again, keep your eyes closed. Keep that internal gaze. Just feeling into every movement with mindful awareness. And then switching direction. Every time I slow down my breath and turn on this music, my dog Sophie just totally chills. It's so funny. I wish you could see her. She's across the room. Come to stillness. And then we'll take one more seated cat-cow before we move here. So we're going to round the shoulders forward, bring the chin to the chest, draw the belly back toward the spine. And then as you inhale, come forward, just moving the spine forward and back. You can lift your gaze toward the ceiling, lift your nose toward the ceiling. Take a couple more, just warming up the spine this morning. And then come to stillness, release your legs from their bondage, bring your feet to the floor, let your knees be bent, and take your hands behind you, palms on the floor, fingers facing toward you. Just take some gentle rocks from side to side, windshield washing those knees. Good. And then extend the legs long in front of you. Sit up nice and tall, flex those toes. And reach your arms up. We'll take a forward fold and just see how this feels. So your back might not be quite ready for this, so come forward only as you are able. Reach for your toes, your feet, your ankles, anything you can get a hold of. If you happen to have a strap next to you, most people don't have a yoga strap, but if you happen to, you can loop it around your feet. And take a big breath. Open your heart forward. Draw your shoulders back and down. And as you exhale, just come forward. Just start to notice the hamstrings, the lower back, and just breathe into those spaces. Good. Take one more full inhalation. And as you exhale, just slowly rise back up. Draw your knees back in this time and bring your feet together. We'll come into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. You can flap your wings, your butterfly wings, as you get settled. And just look at your feet, take your hands and just peel your feet apart here. Sit up nice and tall as you inhale, and then exhale, take another little forward fold. Explore sensation in the inner thighs. Keeping the breath nice and slow and long, and keeping that gaze internal. And as you're ready, exhale to come back up. And we'll set ourselves up in tabletop. So if you do have your blanket, towel, pillow, and you want to tuck it under your knees just to give yourself a little cushioning. Take your hands under your shoulders, take your knees under your hips, shake it out a little bit. Spread your fingers nice and wide and press into the joints of the fingers. This is really good for any arthritis symptoms that you might have. Notice your shoulders starting to get engaged. And then we'll take a few cat-cows, moving through those spinal flexions, moving with the breath, dropping the belly, lifting the tail and the crown as you inhale, and then exhale through that Halloween cat shape as you press the mat away. Just move slowly with your breath. Just feeling every movement, every breath, making little minor adjustments as needed for your own body. Everybody's different. Everybody's different and everybody's different. My dad used to say, everybody's different and nobody's perfect. I always think about that when I say that. Everybody's different. Nobody's perfect. We're going to take one more, rounding into that Halloween cat. And this time, take your chin to your chest, really draw that belly into your spine. And then come back to that tabletop pose. Shake it out. And then we're going to take that left leg, extend it nice and long behind you. Reach it back and flex those toes toward the floor. Engage that whole leg. Start engaging that glute, maybe lifting a little bit higher. And if you're ready, you can lift your right arm forward and take a gander forward, finding a little bit of balance in this low bird dog pose. Take one more breath, steadying with the breath. And then exhale to bring that right hand down, left knee comes down, shake it out. Switch. We'll extend that right leg, point those toes, really flexing, lifting a little bit higher than you think you are ready for, so you can engage the glutes, engage the abs, reach forward, get really long here, pressing the foot back and reaching forward with your arms. Your abs are your center, so draw the abs into the spine. Take one more breath. And then slowly release, bring that right knee down and shake it out. Let's stretch the wrist, bringing the fingertips towards you and just leaning back ever so slightly, stretching those tiny little muscles. We're starting to feel them, right? Breathe here. They're not so tiny, but really good for if you're spending a lot of time, as we all are, on our computers. Good to stretch. And take your hands, place them back on your mat a little bit in front of where you had them for tabletop. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Again, press into the joints of the fingers, especially the thumb and the forefinger, just to support the wrist. And then tuck your toes. Feel that stretch in the feet. And then start to lift your hips, lift your knees off the floor. Lift your hips and come into your first downward facing dog, pressing your heels back toward the floor. Probably won't hit the floor. And then just walk your dog. Walking, bending one knee and then the other. Keeping your breath slow and smooth. There's always a hair on me when I look back on downward facing dog. One more breath in. And then find stillness. Press those heels toward the floor. Maybe press in to your hands. Recommitting to this dog. Getting that length in the spine. Feels so good, especially in the morning. Another breath in. Remove any blankets or towels. And then walk your way forward to the front of your mat. If you happen to have yoga blocks, you can place them here on whatever level works for you. Otherwise, just let your hands come to the floor. Let your knees have a generous bend here as we begin this practice. And let your head dangle. Shake it yes. Shake it no. Just release any tension in the neck. And take one more breath here. Head under heart. Bringing all that blood flow to our brains and our faces, giving us a rosy glow. All good. And on your next inhale, just bend your knees to rise, and we'll come slowly up, being gentle with our backs, reaching up, finding length in the body, reaching up, looking up, pressing into your feet, engaging the legs, finding length. And then lower that left arm down to your left side and take a side bend over to your left and look right. Keep both feet firmly planted so the right foot might feel like it's not as engaged. See if you can press down with that right leg into the mat. And as you're ready on your next inhale, reach up, look up, and lean over to the other side. Left arm lifts, right arm comes down, and look left. Press equally into the left foot. And breathe here. Good. As you're ready on your next inhale, reach up, look up. Get really long, and then take your arms, bend your elbows, and come into goddess pose. We're going to open up that chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Coming into a powerful goddess pose. Take a big breath in, fill up belly, ribs, chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower your hands down to your sides, coming into mountain pose. So you might take a roll of the shoulders up, back, and down. Take 2 more of those. Opening up the chest, feeling any little crunchies that might be happening in the shoulders, and then lower the shoulders down even farther away from your ears and squeeze those shoulder blades together. Find mountain pose. Lift your toes and spread them, and then lower one at a time, pressing those joints of the toes into the earth. And spread your fingers nice and wide. And just close your eyes here. Take a full breath in. And a nice long exhalation. When you're ready, blink your eyes open. Inhale, reach up, look up. Let your palms touch. Lean back a little bit. Take a little back bend. Notice how it feels. Be kind to yourself. Don't go farther than you're ready. And on your exhale, swan dive forward. Find your forward fold. Fingertips to blocks or earth. Release your head down. Inhale, come into your halfway lift, so that Ardha means half in Sanskrit. And then exhale as you come down to the mat, fingertips, hands to the mat. Inhale, root to rise. We'll rise up one more time, reaching up, looking up. Flipping the palms, send your palms toward the ceiling and lean right, look left. Inhale back to center, and exhale, lean left, look right. Beautiful job. Inhale, reach up, look up, lean back. One more back bend before we swan dive forward. Take that swan dive, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, come to your halfway lift. And then exhale, come on down. Step all the way back. Coming into a brief plank or a not so brief plank. You can lower your knees, or you can come down through your vinyasa. Just lower yourself down, engaging those arms as you lower all the way down to the floor, bringing yourself to the floor. Make a pillow with your hands and breathe here. Take a nice big deep breath and exhale it out, feeling your belly pressing into the earth as you breathe. And then when you're ready, bring your hands to either side of your shoulders. We're going to take 3 cobras. So draw your elbows in towards your sides. As you inhale, lift up. Just a baby cobra here. And exhale your forward forehead down to the floor. When you're ready, inhale, lifting up again, little gentle back bends here. Compressing that lower spine. If it hurts, pain is not good. Sensation is what we're going for. Exhale, lower down. Third time's the charm. Press yourself up. Use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to table. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Here we are, back again in downward facing dog. Find your down dog that works for you. So your legs might be a little more ready to straighten, pressing those heels back into the earth. Take a big breath in and an exhalation. And then inhale your right leg up to the sky. Point those toes this time. Keep pressing that left heel into the earth. And then as you're ready, draw that right knee into your belly round like we did in that cat pose. And then inhale it back up. As you're ready, draw that knee back into the belly. Slide yourself forward slightly and step that right foot rising up. We'll come into Crescent Warrior here. Crescent lunge. Bending that right knee, the left leg is straight. Reaching those fingertips toward the ceiling. So wobbling here is going to happen. Let's just face it, we're human. Let the wobble happen, but come back to your breath. Finding grace, even when we're challenged. One more breath in, and one more breath out. And we're going to sweep the right arm forward and sweep that left arm back. And see if you can gaze back, coming into a little twist here. Might cause a little more wobbling. Keep your breath, your steady anchor as we move through this practice. Inhale, reach up and look up. Good. And then exhale, take your hands down, frame that right foot, and step back to downward facing dog. Notice the difference between the right foot and the left, the right leg and the left, even the right shoulder and the left. And when you're ready, inhale that left foot up to the sky, point it, get long, press that right heel into the earth. Take a nice breath in and round your spine. Draw that left knee in toward the belly, knee toward nose. And as you exhale, lengthen it out. Take it one more time, drawing that knee in, rounding, and then look forward and just step that left foot forward. We'll press into the feet, finding stability, reaching up. Coming into crescent on this side. See if you can take your shoulders down. Let's come into a goddess pose here because we can. Once again, bend your elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Palms facing forward. Nice open heart. Open, spacious chest, bringing much more space for the breath. Take one more breath in. And then we'll reach that left arm forward, open up, see if you can look back toward the right arm that's extended, twisting. Embracing the wobble, embracing the fact that we are balancing here on this earth, and we're doing a damn good job. One more breath in. And then exhale to release, coming back into that Crescent Warrior. And then slowly take your hands down to the mat. We'll press back, coming into downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. And then if your blanket's handy and you want to set it on your mat, again, right where your knees would go. And we're going to bring our knees down to the floor, wide as our mat. Bring our big toes to touch. And sink the hips back and extend your arms nice and long, getting length in the shoulders. Space in the shoulders. Reach forward and then eventually let your forehead come down to the mat, lowering into extended child's pose. And just enjoy this pose to open up your hips. And breathe here. Taking some long, slow, deep breaths. If this pose is not enjoyable, our next stop will be our belly, so you can always make your way down to your belly. Well, let's take a couple more breaths here, sinking our hips back toward our heels. More space for the spine, the hips, and the breath. Breathing into that back body fully and completely. Pausing to notice the inhalation and that fullness. And then exhaling it slowly and completely. And then on your next breath, we're going to come forward. And let's take our knees, since we're here, unless you're already on your belly, we're going to take our knees under our hips and come into puppy pose. There seems to be a dog theme, a little bit of a dog theme. So extend your arms again, lift your hips, and then bring your chin or your forehead down to the floor, most likely your forehead. And then just let your arms lower. You get a nice stretch for your shoulders. Also a little bit of a back bend. So breathe here. Slow down the breath. And when you're ready, peel yourself out of your puppy and then take yourself down to the floor. Just coming down to a comfortable place, making a pillow with your hands, and just breathing here. So as you're ready, bring your forehead back to center, and bring your elbows under your shoulders. We'll just take a pass through Sphynx Pose, giving ourselves a little bit of compression in that lower back as a counter to that child's pose. So some of us could hang out here all day. If it's just doing nothing, reach your arms out nice and wide, press your hands into the floor and come into seal pose, lifting up a little bit higher. Such a great way to start the week here. Doing something good for our bodies, counteracting all the forward slump asana that is, I don't know, it's my default, I think. Just sitting at the computer, even driving, sometimes we slump forward. Take one more breath, and then slowly lower yourself down. Make a pillow, turn your head the opposite way. I'll stay this way, because my mic is on that side. And breathe here. Here comes Sophie. Hi, Sophie. Come say hi. Hi. Oh, thank you. Oh, nice. Really nice. Nice. When you're ready, we're going to bring our head back to center. Yes, beautiful. Up dog, down dog, puppy pose. You did them all. Good. Bring your forehead back to center. Bend your knees. Reach back for your ankles. See if you can get a hold of something. Even your pant leg will work. And then take one more shoulder squeeze, squeezing those shoulder blades together, maybe lifting your knees off the mat, coming into Dhanurasana, this great stretch for the chest, the shoulders, and the lower back. Just be gentle, maybe lift a little bit higher, maybe squeeze a little bit more. So good for you, I promise. One more breath in. And then exhale, just release. Turn your head whichever way needs more of a stretch. And let it go, breathe. Beautiful job. Right, Sophie? Right? And as you're ready, we're just going to roll over to our backs, coming gently to our backs. And it's going to feel really good to hug our knees into our chest, hopefully. So So draw those knees up into your chest and take some circles, massage out that lower back. Do you know dogs shake to relieve stress? Somebody told me that. I didn't Google it, but I hear that that's the truth. Sophie just shook. We should do that more often. Just shake when we need to relieve stress. Go the other direction. And then keep that right knee hugged in tight. Release that left leg long. And just take that right foot up to the ceiling. Take some ankle circles here, stretching the hamstring, getting a twofer, ankle circles. Go both directions. And keeping that breath, as always, slow. And hug that leg in a little bit more, maybe straighten it a little bit more, point and flex a couple of times. And then draw your nose up towards your knee, give it a nice squeeze. Maybe pulling that leg a little closer to you, maybe not. And as you exhale, slowly lower that right leg down to the floor. And just see if you can notice the difference between the right leg and the left. Good. And as you're ready, oh gosh, I had a fly into my face. Reach that left leg. That's the only thing about this time of year that I love to keep the windows and doors open, but the flies somehow get in. All right, circle your ankle in one direction and then the other. Maybe one day we'll actually get a pedicure again. You don't really notice it until you're in this position. As you're ready, draw your nose to your knee. And then release your head and shoulders. Just do a couple point and flexes on this leg. And then slowly release that left leg down. Take a big full body stretch. Reaching your arms overhead, point your toes, and then get that little curve, that C curve in the lower back going so you can feel that space between the mat and your body, your lower back. Take a big breath in and a nice exhalation. And then we're going to bring our heels toward our hips, bending the knees. Take your hands down to your sides, palms facing the earth, and go ahead and tuck the shoulders underneath you a little bit, one shoulder and then the other. And using your hands and your feet, press yourself up into bridge pose. And then you might want to take your hands underneath you, clasping them, lift up. So there's some empirical evidence that bridge pose done for extended periods of time can help with sleep. So just throwing that out there. According to the research, though, you have to stay in bridge pose for like 15 minutes for it really to affect your sleep. So I don't know how practical that is, but we'll be here for another few breaths. So let me know how it works for you. Take a full breath in. Nice long exhalation. Maybe lift up a little bit higher for this last breath. Deep breath in. And then exhale, slowly lower down. Just one little vertebra at a time. Being gentle, rock your feet, rock your legs side to side. We're going to take one more of those. And when you're ready, set yourself up for your bridge. If wheel is in your practice and you want to go for it, lifting up, it's not my favorite. When you're ready, inhale your way up to bridge. Clasp your hands behind you. Loop those shoulders underneath you. Keep your gaze upward. Probably don't want to turn your head in this position. There's a lot of pressure on the back of the head and neck. Just keep your gaze upward. Take another breath in as you lift a little bit higher even. You've got this. And as you slowly exhale, make your way back down to the mat. Good. And then take your right foot, leave it on the floor. Take your left ankle, cross it over that left knee, and reach between in this little hole you made, and reach for your shin of your right leg or even the hamstring of the right leg, and just draw that back, coming into figure 4. Stretching the outer hip. And notice if you are resisting anywhere here. See if you can soften. Maybe close your eyes. Sometimes that helps me. And return to the awareness of your breath. Softening jaw, softening the brow. And take one more full breath in. And as you exhale, lower that right foot to the floor, release the left foot. Just rock from side to side or shake it out. We'll keep that left foot on the floor, knee bent, take that right ankle, cross it over. Making space on this side, reach for what you can get a hold of and draw those legs in towards you. Take some deep breaths here, softening where you can. Good morning, right hip. Let go. Release tension wherever you can. Even if you release tension in some small, seemingly unrelated part of the body, it sends a signal to the brain, the nervous system, that it's okay, we're safe, we can soften, we can lengthen muscles and stretch. And combine that with the breath. You can do anything. Combine it with mindfulness. And there's peace on earth. One more breath in. I'm just distracting you. And then slowly release. Take your knees and hug them in and just drop them over to one side, whichever side feels most ready, and then turn your gaze, open your arm to the other side. You can have your hand on the top of that top leg if you'd like to give it a little more encouragement. Breathe here. Winding down the practice. See if you can be aware of small pockets of tension anywhere and use the breath, send the breath lovingly to those places and just release. We'll start our week with deep relaxation. As you're ready, draw your knees back to center and lower them slowly to the other side. Find and follow your bliss here. Maybe that hand is resting gently on the top of that top leg. And maybe your head is turned toward the opposite direction, stretching one last time the neck and the shoulders. Finding tension relief here. Opening up, stretching where you can. Take one more big breath in, and then as you're ready, hug those knees back into your chest. Just release the legs up over your heart. Send the feet up toward the ceiling. So this is one of the most restorative poses in yoga. It's also nice to do right before bed. But on a Monday morning, why not? You can lift your legs up a wall if you like. You can, again, appreciate your bare, maybe some of you have gotten a pedicure. I haven't, obviously. Unpolished toes. I think they look pretty good. One more deep breath. And then exhale, slowly draw your knees back in and release your legs long. If you're chilly, cover up or tuck that towel or blanket underneath your knees. Maybe loop your shoulders again underneath you, giving you a little more expansion in the chest. And then let your arms just come out wide. Let your palms release up toward the sky. Nice open posture. And then close your eyes. Allow everything to soften behind the eyelids. Relax the gums, the tongue, the mouth, the jaw. Release tension in shoulders, chest, torso, belly, softening everywhere. Let the hips be heavy, let the legs melt toward the floor, the feet splay out even more. And just let go here. Nothing to do for the next minute or so. Just soften. Allow yourself to simply be. On this day, the blessings of heaven. On this day, the blessings of earth. On this day, the blessings of sea and of sky, to open us to life, to ground us in life, to fill us with life and with wonder. On those we love this day and on every human family, the blessings of heaven, the blessings of earth, the blessings of sea and sky. As you're ready, begin to make small movements. Wiggling fingers, toes, turning your head from side to side. And then as you're ready, roll to one side, whichever side feels right to you. And just pause here, noticing the effects of your practice. And giving yourself a little imaginary pat on the back for a job well done, starting the week with mindfulness, body awareness, breath awareness. Then as you're ready, use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to that comfortable seat, maybe propping yourself up. Sitting up nice and tall again. Let's take one final breath together for this practice. It's so great to join you, my friends, and practice together. Reach up, Find some length, draw your palms together, bring all the goodness down to your own sweet heart. Let your chin bow with reverence to your own light, your own body, your own humanity. And then send a good thought out into the world. A prayer for peace. And as you're ready, lift your gaze, lift your thumbs to your third eye, your seat of awareness and wisdom. Thank you so much for joining me for Mindful Monday. Until next week, have a great week. Namaste.